Hey guys, what's up? Hope you guys are doing good. Hope your tanks are doing good as well. So everybody's been asking me, what substrate have you used? I want to know what you put inside your tank, so I finally thought, I should make a proper sit down video where I talk about my substrate and show you guys what I actually put in there. So let's start with the first bag. First, what I did was I added some of this. Now let's read it. It's Eco-Complete Planted Aquarium Substrate. It says it contains iron, calcium, magnesium, potassium, sulfur, plus over 25 other elements to nourish your aquatic plants. Eco-Complete Planted Aquarium Substrate contains all the mineral nutrients needed for luxuriant aquatic plant growth without nuisance of algae. I never knew that luxuriant was actually a word, by the way. So in other words, it's a really good substrate filled with lots of stuff, and actually on the side it says nutritionally complete, and then it lists all the things that it has in it. So it has iron, magnesium, calcium, potassium, zinc, sulfur, magnesium, sodium, aluminium, as the British would say, silicon, chromium, cobalt, barium, strontium, nickel, titanium, vanadium, lithium, boron, cadmium, plus others. I don't even know if I pronounced all those right, but anyways, bronchitis is still kind of, so I might cough a little bit during the video because I'm talking so loudly. Anyways, it's a really good substrate filled with lots and lots of really good stuff, so I highly recommend it. The plants have been doing really well in it, and the dwarf hairgrass, I mean, out of nowhere, it started flourishing. It's just crazy how fast these plants are growing in this substrate. Of course, mixed with the CO2 and the good lighting that I have, but in a planted aquarium, it all comes down to substrate. Substrate is the base for a healthy planted aquarium, and without good substrate you can't really have good, beautiful lush aquatic plants, and the dwarf hairgrass has proven to me, based on how fast that it started to grow, just only a couple days in the tank, with this substrate, it's proven to me that this substrate is actually really good, and staying true to what it says on the bag, where it's complete, has all the good nutrients in it, it proves it to me. So it has a lot of good stuff in it, really good substrate, highly recommend it. Okay, so usually like in a mono aquarium, they use like this thing they call Power Sand Special or something, and it's basically just really big rocks, and that's like the base layer of the aquarium. So I thought I would kind of mimic the same thing because I kind of like that system, so that's why I put the Eco-Complete at the bottom, because it's kind of like a more rockier substrate. The fluorite black sand that I'm about to show you, the bag, is a more sandy substrate, so I thought that would be kind of similar to like the aqua soil powder type that they finish off aquariums or mono tanks off with. So I thought I would use the sand. And the reason why I didn't buy ADA products to do my tank is because when I sold my goldfish, I sold them to the pet store, and I was only given store credit, and that store does not sell ADA products, so I wasn't actually able to get money for them that I could go out and buy ADA products from any store that I could find them at, or online or whatever. So I was kind of stuck with having to buy whatever was available at the store. But I mean, not to say that this stuff isn't great, because it really is. I mean, I love the substrate, and I'm almost convinced that there are things out there better than, or not better, but as equally good. What am I trying to get at? It's there are substrate out there that is the same as far as the nutrition that it provides to the plant, or the plants in your tank and stuff like that, the same as ADA soil. I mean, yeah, everybody swears by ADA soil like it's the best thing in the world, but it's extremely expensive, and it's not for everybody because of the price. And I mean, this stuff is just as good. Seriously, I mean, I've noticed the same amount of growth with the dwarf hairgrass, like I just said, how it's growing really fast, with the dwarf baby tears that I had about a year ago in the ADA soil. And, the growth rate is about the same. So pretty much they're equally good, guys. You don't have to go out and spend a bunch of money. This stuff was cheaper than ADA soil. So yeah, so I finished off, back to what I was saying, I finished off the top of the tank with fluorite black sand, and also it contains a lot of really good stuff in it. It says that it is pre-washed, and it says even though it is pre-washed, it can still have dust in it. And that was one of the kind of biggest issues that I've seen that people have with this substrate is that they put it in a tank and they expect it to be crystal clear. You know, they don't expect any cloudiness at all, but they do it wrong. You know, first, the biggest mistake that people do is they'll put the substrate in and then they'll put the hose right on top of it and fill up their tank. All it's going to do is stir up all that substrate, bring out all the silt, the clay, all the, you know, dustiness of it into the water. It's going to cloud your aquarium. What I did was I put my hose inside my little overflow box here, and then I put a plate on top of the substrate, so any water that would come down was being dispersed by the overflow box, and also it was being the substrate was being protected by the plate that was on the substrate. Now, of course, once the water got to a certain depth, I was able to remove the plate and the water could splash inside the tank and it wouldn't disturb the substrate. But at first, you know, you really have to, you know, do something like that. Newspaper, I mean, a plate, a cutting board, just something where you could block that, you know, flow of water to disturb your substrate. So that's a big mistake that people make, and people get really frustrated. Like, I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube where people are like, look what this substrate did to my tank. You know, they're all angry and, you know, pissed off because they did so much work on their tank and now it's all cloudy. But I mean, basically that's what you need to make sure you do. You just cannot stir up the substrate when you fill up your tank. You got to be very, very careful. Okay, so that's my substrate. The fluorite black sand on top, and then the Eco-Complete Planet Aquarium substrate at the bottom. I mixed these two substrates together, and, well, actually I didn't mix them together, I just, you know, did layers, but they're working perfectly fine for me. And as you just saw, the dwarf hair grass has been growing very, very fast. It's only been in the tank for a couple days, guys. I mean, that's, you know, kind of incredible. And it's already starting to, you know, those runners are starting to go out and, you know, propagate themselves, and, you know, now they're getting bigger and bigger. So I'm really impressed with this substrate. So happy that I got it. It's as good as ADA soil, and I mean, if I had the choice of being able to go back to ADA soil, I wouldn't, because to me it's just not worth spending the extra money on that stuff when this stuff works just as good. It really does. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time.